Faith TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good evening, viewers. My name is James Ireri. This is the show Man Unveiled. What a privilege and honor to be here. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for coming through for this program. Please continue sharing this program. It has been a blessing to many men. And on set, we have very wonderful guests today. They are very much ready to equip and share and teach us, and also we learn from them a lot. Wonderful panelists here. On my right, kindly introduce yourself to the show as we continue.
Thank you so much. My name is Anthony Wanyoike. I'm glad that you're watching, and it's always a pleasure to have you together with us here.
Yes.
My name is Godfrey Gishoke. They also call me Gigi or Pastor Gigi. And I'm happy to be on the set with these two wonderful gentlemen. They always like dragging me here and asking me very hard questions. Yes. So
we want to squeeze the much we can from you.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm happy.
You're a very resourceful man, and we really treasure you around.
Thank you.
And we want to get the much we can from you.
Okay.
Sure.
So therefore today we start our show. We will be recapping from the previous show that we had. And we have handled a lot about enterprise and employment, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So today we're going to be looking at matters, especially now we have had a very serious pandemic, kind of a global concern, of course, that is affecting all over. And we are in a situation that we have never found ourselves in.
That's true.
Even the 2009, 2008 global economic slowdown, it was not like where we are at.
Yeah.
But however, there are emerging opportunities with the post-pandemic and readjustments after this pandemic, because we cannot give up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we are encouraging men not to give up. We are encouraging people to find something to do. Even if your source of income has gone down, try to readjust, look for other opportunities. I remember Pastor Gigi in the initial shows is talked about scanning for opportunities.
Yes.
Both locally and across.
Internationally.
Yes, internationally. So today we're going to be looking at issues of where people can scan for opportunities post-pandemic. Anthony,
yes.
I know you're passionate about this matter.
I met with a certain professor of the University of Nairobi. And sort of a story, both of us are actually waiting for our cars to be washed.
Yes.
And he said it's very interesting what is happening,
Yes.
because I'm working from home. And he told me, as I work from home, because I had to go and create the office at home, I had to go out and buy furniture. That already tells you that the gentleman needed to buy furniture. And one of the areas that actually came up very quickly was furniture for office at home and for pupils to study at home. If you haven't bought anything, then you haven't seen the opportunity. Then those people who are selling those, they were actually able to get something. I remember one also gentleman saying he actually went to where there was Kenya Science and was able to buy for the entire of the family, because every child needed a desk to be able to work.
Right.
The other one was the gadgets that they actually needed to use. Both the professor and the primary school, they needed a set of laptop, to speak, so that they're actually able to connect. And the same case happened, including to me. You know, I had to buy for my daughter. You know, the same set. So you can see also the opportunity for the electronic gadgets. For those who had them then, they were actually able to get to that particular space. The interesting bit is what he told me about what's likely to happen. Luckily, this professor had written actually about the future of work. He had even advised the direction, but it had nothing to do with the pandemic. And he said, where we're getting to, you require less space at the university, and some of us, he's actually an IT professor, you'll actually be doing it from home. you'll be required to pay a little rent to me. Imagine being paid rent at your own home because you're working from home. And he told me this is a double way of gaining. One, you're not using fuel because you need to go to work, which you're not paid for, but now you're at home.
Yes.
And your space was actually being paid for. Now, for that to happen, and I'm trying to create an ecosystem of opportunity, is you needed IT gurus to play with the connectivity. So you needed people to be able to do that. So some youngsters who are very good in terms of the software and such were actually able to create platforms that would be able to relay information to the learners so that then they are actually able. So you can see the professor is there, the learner is here, also the parents are getting an opportunity, and you're also getting a situation where you're saying, here is a way of selling the gadget, and actually coming up with a program or a software.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I was waiting for that point because I think it is a tremendous opportunity that has come, working from home and opened so many doors.
Yeah.
I think it's subjecting us to, so literally say, thinking outside the box.
Right.
Or what they say, John Maxwell says that questioning status quo.
Yes.
Right.
Pastor Gigi, what is this coming out, especially during this pandemic? How have you seen people adapt or engage to become outside the box thinkers? What have you seen besides the working from home, literally sitting behind a computer? Not everybody is working from home in terms of a computer, but other opportunities have mushroomed. Yeah. What have you noted of uniqueness?
I think one of the greatest shift that has taken place in the marketplace at a level where a lot of young people can get engaged, or even the average entrepreneur, is in the space of logistics. Okay, so let's talk about home deliveries, for example.
Home delivery,
Home delivery. And the whole idea of online buying. For a long time, I remember I used to work with and help as a consultant and coach someone who started an online shopping platform. Like 2015, you know, all the way, you know, and for a long time they struggled. They struggled. The business model is clear, but the uptake was so difficult. This crisis has become a catalyst for a business. Online shopping itself was going to take another 5 years to take off. In fact, I was recently talking to someone on another show, and they were saying right now, even though it's 2021, we are operating in 2025.
Wow.
We are like
ahead of ourselves.
4 years or so ahead. Whatever we are doing now could have happened in 2025. So there has been a fast an acceleration of uptick online. So I mean, look, the other day my son, I discovered that my son has been ordering all his stuff online. So there's a very big box sitting in our house. I don't know why he's not opening it up. I just saw it with all labels. And that's the way business is going. So most young people have become, in fact, they have become so dependent on online. I'm even worried that somebody is going to begin to take advantage of them. Just loading them on things they don't need. COVID itself became a catalyst for ensuring an industry, a whole industry has been born, tested and established. So as we talk right now, Jim, online shopping is established. So
online
if you want
deliveries,
the systems are in place. There are people even who have offices in town, which is a place where you can order something.
It's a pickup point.
Pickup point. People have even discovered you can set up a pickup point, an independent pickup point.
You can even hire a room to be a pickup point for other people.
Absolutely.
They just pay.
Yours is just the rental space. You hire the space, put shelves, and you tell people you order, let it be delivered here, and pass here as you pick your mzigo.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Brilliant ideas are coming out of this pandemic.
Exactly. So, and I think Anthony, you know, he likes talking about the value chain.
The value chain.
So there has been a lot of revolution in every part of the business value chain. So, and the logistics, the delivery from point A to B, that particular system, the communication has been, it's completely different.
Previously, it was not very acceptable.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming the norm.
Even grandmothers
Yes,
who would
have
never
accepted.
have dared
Yes.
to order something
Yes,
online.
now they
because
can.
they don't trust
Yes.
all those other crooked people out
Yes,
there.
yes.
Now they have been forced to do it.
So they are vindicating what Anthony's professor was saying.
You should try
Oh,
to
yes.
order
Yes.
pizza. You should
The
try
five-
to,
yes.
you should try to order a pizza
Yes.
if you have never ordered.
Yes,
That's
and
what
it's not like the one which they say, you order this one, and what they bring is a different thing.
No. It will be delivered so fast.
Yes.
And you'll be shocked. And
Yes.
the guy delivering is like, he even wants to, can you order like tomorrow?
Yes.
Can I also?
Yes.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's amazing.
I think it's a great opportunity for one, even promoting one another.
Yeah.
I've seen this in the social media. Guys are very encouraged about Made in Kenya.
Yes.
I think we are realizing now the things that we need mostly now can be reachable from one another, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I think it's another window of opportunity that has opened for people now to promote one another online.
Yes.
I've seen people, they had ideas, but they have never launched them.
Yes.
Now they have dared because they have seen that you can do your cake from your home and send it to the other side of the city.
Yes.
Because all that you need is a good testimonial that somebody ate your cake and they
Oh,
liked
yes.
it.
Yes.
Isn't
That's
it?
all.
Yes.
They don't care about your credentials. They say, Anthony tasted my cake and he said he can give me a good testimonial.
Actually, 5 years ago, I did. You know, the reason why I have so many stories is
Yes.
because I do coaching for small businesses.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember sitting one time with some young lady who started baking in their house.
Yes.
And we were trying to develop the business model. And the whole issue was, you know, how do you create value?
Yes.
So she had this big oven in the house.
Yes.
And she was already big. So we worked on the pricing. How do you price? How do you package? And all that. And we discussed and we developed some very nice ideas.
Yes.
On the packages,
Yes.
you know, a birthday pack,
Yes.
you know, a wedding anniversary pack,
Yes.
and timelines.
Yes.
When do you order? That kind of thing. So whatever she needed communication
Yes.
to communicate out there to the market.
Yes.
That was like about 5 years ago.
Yes.
I'm sure right now, although I haven't spoken to her, she's probably has no worries at all.
Yes.
Whatever barriers, you know, like inertia.
Yes.
I think they are out. Today, if you want a cake,
Mm.
I don't think whether you need to leave your desk.
Yes.
No.
Well, and social media has made it even very easy
Absolutely.
for you to access products and services around.
Yes.
There's so many advertising going around,
Yes.
and they are really working because as long as you get a good reference and you get somebody who has done that job and they can be your testimonial, you're good to go.
Absolutely.
Anthony,
Yes.
you're in that space
Yes.
of the digital marketing, you're in the space of the actual marketing, market penetration. How has the market responded to the pandemic in terms especially of the line you have been very passionate about?
This pandemic accelerated. So it's very clear that there was an acceleration that came with the pandemic. And technology has played a very critical role.
Yes.
Because the connectivity, it's like there's zero distance. You know, you need it. The way Nakumat would say, we've got it.
Yes.
So if you ask that, it's just a click of a button and you can actually see what it is. Even if you want to see the item, there may be a bit of a difference in terms of what you saw and exactly what you get. But if you have the experience of that before, then you're quite sure that you're actually going to get the same thing. Because most of the people, by the use of also technology, they're able to become consistent in terms of production. Whatever it is that they are producing, they're actually able to replicate.
Yes.
They're able to do the same thing. So I find market has responded very, very well. And you can actually tell what he's saying, 2021 is like 2025.
Yes.
So we have a big leap forward.
Yes.
You know, we have jumped several years, and you can actually see that the market is actually accepting that. Whether you talk about information dissemination,
Yes.
or the purchasing process, you know,
Yeah.
or even the delivery
Yes.
itself, I think things are happening pretty fast. So I would actually say the market has responded very, very positively.
The transport sector, the delivery sector has actually grown.
It has actually been revived in a very big way.
Absolutely.
And you can actually go all the way down to more or less of a porter. If you look at Jumia and the likes of Glovo, including bicycles, there's some young men
Yes.
who are using not motorbike,
Yes.
bicycles.
Yes,
You know,
within the
within
city
short
center.
distance. Yes, they're actually using it and they deliver. So it has a ripple effect
Yes.
in terms of the impact, in terms of how it is actually reviving the economy. So there's still a huge opportunity around there in terms of the organized one, like you're saying, the likes of Sandy, so that when you place an order, basically you're able to tell when they're going to deliver, you make your payment, and then the payment processes. You know, if you look at the payment processes via the, you know, the M-Pesa or mobile money, and that window that we're actually given to be able to do this without a coin, you know, a certain amount, you're actually not paying any charges.
Yes.
That opened a whole platform for people to do the trial. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and that
absolutely.
has accelerated
Yes.
even the uptick of what you can do with the
It
with,
was like a
with the
whole
mobile.
social experiment. You
Yes.
know, it's like the whole country went into this experiment.
Yes,
Yes.
experiment. They didn't
and
know the outcome.
Yeah, and everybody was cooperating
Yes,
player
yes.
in
Yes.
a very grand experiment.
Yes.
Safaricom removed the charges
Yes.
so that everyone can try them out.
Yes.
I think it's amazing.
As you said, we've taken a leap of like 5 years.
Yeah.
My last engagement, I was in an international organization, and one of the things I saw, they had started executing that kind of processing that you can authorize and even transact from the comfort of your home. But you know, people are very casual about it. You know,
Very.
it's like you're in the accounting department, you can authorize invoices, you can check stock from wherever you are.
Yeah.
But it was taking slow for people to admit that it's not necessary for you to go interperson to the
Yes,
office.
yes.
But right now, I think they're in full gear because now they understand that that's where we are at.
Absolutely.
And I think this crisis has brought a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
And people have explored outside the box. Who knew that one time you'd get a subscription at the comfort of your seat and medicine is delivered to you? I heard during this pandemic, most of the vulnerable people, medicine was being taken to their door at no cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because of technology.
Yeah.
But previously, this technology we may not have fully exploited it.
Absolutely.
So I really look forward for a great, penetration.
Yes.
Please remember, Kenya is in a very good space.
Yes.
We are ranked, I think, the first in internet penetration here in Africa.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think it's a good thing.
Yes.
As long as that communication and technology can be used to make our lives better.
Absolutely.
Yes, Anthony, you wanted to bring some value here.
Yes, I wanted to say, before I lose the point, that when you're looking at the whole picture, what we are struggling with SMEs in terms of training and learning, it can now be done in a very easy way.
Yes.
So for those people who are doing their own businesses, if you want to learn, you can easily go and search because people have developed content
Yes.
for training.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
you could find them in YouTube. You know, find those people,
Yes.
click, and you're actually able to learn.
Yes.
Those things were not there proper because you don't see the big players
Yes.
who are charging a lot of money. Today you can actually go in there and be able to access
Yes.
at very minimal cost. And the youngsters are doing quite a bit around that area. You can learn anything. I mean, I've seen people, whether it is, if you're running a small hotel, how do you prepare this sort of a meal?
Yes.
If you are running a business, how do you do your bookkeeping? You know, how do you place an order?
Yes.
Everything now you can actually get it because content have been created at a pretty fast stage.
Yes.
If you want to do marketing digital, you find it there
Yes.
immediately. Come for a lesson, 500 shillings, and you're actually able to get it.
Yes.
And that way you will be able also to grow your content to the people
Wow.
and
Absolutely.
connect to the consumers and customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great revolution, so to say,
Yeah.
because it has revolutionized everything, the way how things are being done. And I think we may never go back to the old days, yeah?
Yeah.
Things are starting to take shape and adjust in a certain way that our lives, when we be saying this thing to our grandchildren and be telling them about what happened during this time, it will just be a phenomenal time.
Yeah.
Because people discovered that they can do so much with themselves. They can work extra hours because now even opportunities from across the globe are available. You can work during the evening and double as a private consultant, isn't it?
In fact, Jimmy, let me tell you a very interesting industry that has grown.
Yes.
And it's not related to the techie.
Yes.
You know, there is a lot of talk about
Yes, the
the
technology.
Yes.
technology
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
These are whole industries that had taken a long time
Yes.
to take shape.
Yes.
The health and fitness industry.
Wow.
there are so many gyms that have been set up.
Yes.
Because people discovered
Yes.
when you're working from home,
Yes.
man, you need to get out
Yes.
and go do
Yeah.
something.
You may not fit outside the door.
Absolutely.
So you better go out to the gym.
So there are also what we call kind of like what you call support industries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time you see an industry going ahead,
Yes.
booming,
Yes.
ask yourself what other industry related to that,
The auxiliary.
the
auxiliary related industries. Yes.
that has nothing to do with what is flourishing.
Yes.
I mean, as people are not seeing, because
Yes.
we are all focusing on IT,
Yes.
online delivery
Yes.
and all that,
Yes.
and we're not actually realizing all these guys who are ordering all these pizzas,
Yes.
they need to
They
do
need-
some.
Yeah, it's true.
They need
Yes.
to do some bit of exercise.
Yes.
So a whole industry has come up.
Yes.
The
Fitness.
fitness industry.
Yes.
So I've seen a lot of gyms open up.
Yes.
First floor.
Yes.
In the estate.
Yeah, even in the malls.
And by the way, those gyms are very well equipped.
Yes.
And by the way, a friend of mine told me a lot of people have, those people who sell equipment, fitness equipment have been booming. Absolutely.
Yes,
Anybody who sells anything to do with fitness,
Yes.
there's been a boom.
Even
in
the
that
skipping ropes.
Yeah,
I've seen them being
yeah,
sold
the
in
skipping
in
rope.
the city center.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a must-have.
Yeah, exactly. So these are things that have nothing to do with the COVID.
Yes.
I mean, technically,
Yes.
but they are like
They are auxiliaries.
auxiliary
Yes.
industry.
Yes,
And
yes.
when we look that way, then we actually begin to see a
Yes.
lot of other industries that have come up.
Yes.
Some have died.
Yes.
Some opportunities have died.
Yes.
But others have come up completely new.
Yes.
Yes. So
Anthony, I think you have also engaged people who have really celebrated, not in the positive, not in a negative way,
Yes.
but they are so excited for the opportunities that have presented themselves. Yes.
Yes, I think I had alluded to this, still around techie, because I think there's a lot to do with technology, even as the auxiliary industries are flourish.
Yes.
And there are some young people who've been able to carve a niche for themselves.
Yes.
And they're able to do short-term contracts with companies.
Yes.
And working on an hourly basis,
Yes.
working on daily basis.
Yes.
And within a week, the guy is actually able to earn the salary they actually were earning. So it's just going back and looking at the skill that you have
Yes.
and communicating
Yes.
to your networks.
Yes.
And your networks actually are able to give you a job.
Yes.
Do this for this particular 2-3 days, do this other one for that other person. So they're actually able to work for more than one company.
Yes.
This may be in the areas of finance,
Yes.
and especially audit,
Yes.
and including filing returns.
Yes.
The areas of project management.
Yes.
So there are also people who are also able to get into that space
Yes.
and be able to do that. Also gathering, doing research
Yes.
online
Yes.
because of their connectivity. So using the social media platform, these people are actually able to do
Yes.
research
Yes.
at the comfort of their home,
Yes.
just using the technology.
Yes.
But for them, they're being paid for
Yes.
to do that. So they don't have to go anywhere. They're basically there, but they need to go to the gym
Yes.
after they have sat in the house.
Yes. Yes.
So there are also those who are doing, accounting jobs, both locally and internationally.
Absolutely.
Just at the comfort of the home. Others are actually offering tutorial services
Yes.
to colleges.
Yes.
Yes.
This
Yes.
at home.
Yes.
So they're able to look at all these things
Yes.
and are able to carry out quite a bit of work. And others being engaged to manage the social media platforms, the Facebook, the Twitter,
Yes.
the Instagram, and be able to get data for the companies.
Yes.
So there's a whole a spectrum of opportunities
Yes.
that actually have come up.
Yes.
And it's really touching on the economy.
Yes.
And those people are able actually to put food on the table.
And I also believe that the pandemic has also caused aggressive kind of franchising. People that can be able to sell brands, because now you don't need a physical location.
Yes.
You can merchandise the product.
Yes.
You just need to connect yourself, if it's Domino, if it's pizza, whatever, and you can distribute for them those products
Yes.
at a remote place. Yeah, I think it's just a phenomenal space to be in, and we have said even the auxiliaries industries have benefited. I think, Anthony, in our next session you'll talk to us about even the agri.
Yes.
The agri business has
Yes.
benefited.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, a lot.
Not only the online, the techie guys,
Yeah.
because the farmer at wherever, he's able to now be assured his product will reach the market,
Yes.
because there's a kind of penetration of
Oh, yes.
information.
Yes.
That now you can get fresh food, fresh fruits, isn't it?
Yes.
Now you don't need to go to the marikiti. There is a way that people can now be able to access the food,
Exactly,
yeah? So those are
exactly.
opportunities that are being created. Pastor G, there's something you wanted to say about that.
Yes, actually, again, I remember doing a small plan for someone. I think we had a chat, and they were setting up a fruit, Veda delivery sort of service.
Yes.
And I remember developing for them the various packages. So you could say junior package,
Yes.
jumbo,
Yes.
family size.
Yes.
So
Jumbo.
jumbo,
The
yeah,
elephant.
the
Yes.
jumbo.
Yes.
And so I remember discussing with them how they can package this.
Yes.
So if it is some of these young people who stay alone,
Yes.
you organize a fruit and vegetable pack, which
Yes.
is just standard, what you
Yes.
call standard.
Yes.
Just a couple of products within maybe a range of about 1,000
Yes,
shillings.
yes.
So you have a pineapple there, you have all kinds of things,
Yes.
there's some oranges, things that can last them maybe about a week.
Yes.
But now for a family, for the same 1 week, you need a slightly bigger delivery,
Yes.
and on and on and on. And of course, based on you order, then it's delivered.
Yes.
3 years ago, it was still very difficult to
Yes.
get those business off. So what we are saying is that even in the agri business,
Yes.
a lot of space has opened up.
Yes.
We saw the many people who came out with their cars and
Yes.
were selling from the booth.
Yes.
But since they stopped selling from their booths,
Yes.
where did they go?
Yes.
Some of them went online.
Yes. Some of them went online.
Yeah, some of them went online.
Yes.
So even if we
It was
saw,
not sustainable in the sun.
yeah, in the
Yes,
sun,
Yes.
some of them went online.
Yes.
So I think what we are saying for the men, they are myriads of opportunities.
Wow.
And so we had said at the beginning, pay attention.
Yes, pay attention.
Yeah, that's-
and that's the only school that you don't need any school fees. Pay attention. We're about to take our break, and we'll be coming back shortly, very powerfully. Thank you.
Kenya is a nation. Nairobi is a nation that fights and eats and destroys its own.
People in Kenya, unlike Nigeria, where if they get money, they do well in promoting the kingdom of God first.
Wow.
Here,
Yes.
people, when they got a little bit higher,
Yeah.
or another car or another something,
Yes.
then they don't want to talk to those people even who prayed for them.
Let us reclaim the divine destiny, the divine allocation of this city.
Great. Welcome back to our show, Man Unveiled. It's been an awesome moment to share with these panelists. I'm very privileged for the wisdom that you're pouring here. Pastor Gigi and Anthony, I really treasure that moment when you're pouring and people are listening and their lives are going to be transformed.
Absolutely.
And I believe one of the reasons for this TV show is not for the purposes of just disseminating information. One of the core reasons for this show is to impact people's life so that they become transformed, so that they can spread this message to other people and change the community and entirely change the whole world, isn't it? We were in our first shoot, we were talking about opportunities available, the great myriad of opportunities that have come up with the pandemic. And I think we have experienced a tremendous change, even in the mindset of both the suppliers, of both the producers, or the consumers. In fact, I was reading somewhere else and they were saying that it's not about competing with your competitors now.
Yeah.
We are competing with the last experience from your customer.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
The last experience of your customer, because that customer now is not the conventional customer who comes to your shop.
Yes.
He's probably he's getting the stuff from an online person delivered at his doorsteps.
Absolutely.
Anthony,
Yes.
I know you have been in that campaign trail of people eating healthy
Yes.
and also making life easy for people.
Yes.
In your line of duty, I think you are in a good position to talk of agribusiness.
Yes.
The opportunities in the agribusiness that other people can be able to hear. And
Very
learn.
good. Yeah.
Please.
Thank you, Jim. I think first let me say that there are two broad categories in agribusiness. What we refer to as the crop side, and then you also have the animal side.
Yes.
And both sides of the divide have actually been flourishing.
Yes.
If you check, actually we're going to get into a place where some of the product that we used to may not be readily available.
Yes.
But they also, the shortage of some, not necessarily because of the COVID, but because of the situation to do with the weather.
Yes.
But quickly, opportunities in agriculture. On the crop side, we've had what you call the horticulture.
Yes.
You realize that people are still there and they want to eat vegetables, they want to eat healthy.
Yes.
Vegetables mostly is what you actually see.
Yes.
And many people who lost their job, they were actually able to get into that and be able to provide.
Yes.
I know at some point it was very booming, but at some point because of the demand went down. Because of the supply was very high, the demand actually went a little bit down. But this is an industry, or this is a sector that you cannot satisfy throughout the year. Because what happens is when the supply is high and there's a slowdown, certain people will not produce, then jumps back again. So it's good to understand the cycle, and it is good to keep off the rains, to be able to do your business even when the rains are not there.
Yes.
So tapping water and all that would come in handy for you to be able, whether you're going to do the pools, within your farm, or you're going to harvest water from the rains and be able to sustain your market.
Yes.
Now, those who are able to do it, they could actually identify what you call the captive market, a certain area where you supply, and you supply those consistently. If you're lucky, you get people coming to your farm.
Yes.
They buy off at the farm gate. So they're actually going to buy from there and take the produce. The other one is around vegetables like potato. People know for sure. I know this is a difficult one, but a lot of people are not able to access potatoes when they need them. And it's a big one. So if you're able to innovate around storage of potatoes, you could actually be one of the biggest beneficiaries. So this is an opportunity that one can actually tap into. I know the government of Switzerland has tried with Nyandarua and other places, but the critical thing is you as an individual, if you're very near where the potatoes are being produced, be the first person to buy. A debe, or let's say about 20 kg, could go as low as 200 shilling to 300 bob. But when it is scarce, fetches up to 1,000. So be the person who says, I'm going to take care of this particular product and be able to keep it for a while. Now, the other products are the major one that we actually consume. And surprisingly in Kenya, we have never been able to produce enough. One is rice, the other one is wheat. On a daily basis, the amount of rice consumed in Kenya in wheat is so high. If you think about it, the huge opportunity for someone to think about it. There's what we can now do on a dry land rice. So people need to look at that so that we don't just think about Mwea and Bunyala, Pekera. So we think about the other places where we can actually do dry wheat farming, dry land wheat farming. So if you're able to...
Rice, rather.
Rice.
Yeah, dry land rice farming.
Yes.
So if you're able actually to land there, you're actually also able to do something. Then people will actually be able to consume. Because look at the different types of qualities of rice that people consume. I mean, Pastor Gigi, from the high end to the one that is broken, costing less than 100 shillings per kg, to one that is costing about 300 bob. And the amount of rice consumed, whether you talk about in a single household, and you know Kenya is very youthful in terms of the demographics. So you actually eat a lot of that. Then every breakfast in Kenya, it's likely to have a feature of a wheat product. Again, this is an opportunity that we need to ask ourselves, how can I partake in this particular area? How can we change in terms of the quality of the wheat type that is actually being grown because of the gluten and all
Yes,
that,
yes.
because there are things that can actually be done. I challenge the agronomists in the
Yes,
country,
yes.
those who actually are playing a role in that area,
Yes.
to be able to tell us what type of wheat we need now to start doing. Because 80% of wheat and 80% of rice that consumed in this country is actually imported. Look at the other big one, which is actually maize. I mean, this country imports maize from Tanzania and Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah.
How often?
I-
I mean,
I mean-
every other time, Pastor Jeju, you can weigh in a little bit, and then I'll come back.
You know, I laugh off when I see people, you know, getting very animated
Yes.
about the maize,
Yes,
especially.
yes.
Because
Like
you
the
see,
way our brother was.
yeah. No, you just need to look at the numbers.
Yes.
And you know, we don't grow enough maize. If you want to know that you don't know,
Yes.
just set up a maize mill, a maize milling
Yes.
small plant.
Yes.
That's when reality will hit you.
That you don't have the maize.
Yes, exactly. You may even want to bribe people to bring
To bring for you the maize.
So the conversation is very huge. So when you hear a conversation like, so and so, there's a cartel of
Yes.
importers and all that.
Yes.
Maybe the cartel should exist.
Mhm.
You know the reason why I'm saying that. You know,
Mhm.
that's the contradiction.
Yes.
It's a very contradiction.
No, we've
The same-
understood.
we call
yeah.
them the brokers.
Because you as a miller,
Yes.
if some cartel can bring you maize,
Yes.
or that's all you want.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So sometimes some of these conversations we have, we get very angry, very animated,
Mm.
and people think there is somebody out there
Yes.
out to make sure they die of hunger.
Yes.
No,
Mm.
the reality is we don't grow enough maize.
Yet we still have land.
So one of the things that helped the other day when Tanzanian president came in,
Yes.
you know, I like
Yes,
talking national
yes,
issues.
yes.
Madam Suluhu, Her Excellency.
Yes.
And you know that conversation, one of the things that happened is that our further relationship at the
Yes.
border between
Yes.
Kenya and Tanzania.
And
Yes.
they affected our.
Yeah, you know, because there was a very
Yes.
big conflict
Yes.
at
Yes.
the border.
Mm.
True.
That was sorted out.
Yes.
I think all we needed was to shake hands.
Yes.
Yes,
it's-
that's all.
And the
yes,
border
yes,
becomes open.
Yes.
And now at least we continue, because we get our oranges from Tanzania. Most of our onions in
Onions,
Nairobi
tomatoes.
come from, maybe not so much tomatoes, but
Yes,
the oranges and the onions.
Mm.
Most of it we get from Tanzania. They grow more than enough,
Yes.
or rather there is enough we can bring, and it's cheaper there.
Yes.
Even the fact that the eggs are cheaper in Uganda, that's okay.
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
okay.
If Ugandans can produce eggs
At a cheaper cost.
we can leave that business to
Yes,
them.
yes.
We do something else.
Yes.
Maybe we can
What
go
you are good
online.
at.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can go online and do all the online
Yeah.
stuff we
Yes.
like talking about.
Yeah,
Instead
but
of
let me tell you,
quarreling.
you, you only agree to a certain extent,
Yes.
Yes.
just to play the other side.
Yes. Yeah.
The truth of the matter is we need to look at what makes it costly. I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
The distance
I
from
know the devil is in the
yes,
details.
the distance from Namanga,
Yes.
from Kitengela
Yes.
to get to Moshi,
Yes.
and be able to say that that's where the maize is coming from. On the slopes of Kilimanjaro, this other side is Kemana.
Yes.
And the water is equally available.
Yes.
I mean, when you look at it, you need to ask yourself what makes it costly. If you look at the border of Uganda and the sides of Trans Nzoia,
Yes.
you know, the Kitale region, it's
Yes.
basically the same.
Yes.
So what makes it expensive? So we also need to address those challenges so that
Those are systemic.
so that you're able to bring and say that you're actually able to do. But let me talk to the maize also a little bit. The opportunity also huge in agriculture is what you call aggregation,
Yes.
Pastor Gigi.
Yes.
For the big players,
Yes.
you can actually be the person who says, I want to become an aggregator. Even rice, I want to become an aggregator of whatever is actually happening around maize.
Yes.
The other thing is you can also get into contract farming. You can decide, I want to take huge chunks of land where it's actually possible.
Yes.
Can I tell you, there are pieces of land in this country. If we stop seeing from our retro territory, so that if you come from Kisumu, you don't just see Kisumu.
Yes.
If you come from Nyeri here, you don't see Nyeri.
Yes.
You start thinking the real place where agriculture is supposed to take place. And you'll actually be able to land there and find several people owning 5 acres, 20 acres, they're not utilizing the land.
Absolutely.
Go and mechanize, shift.
So
Yeah,
I think
and
on
then
the
come
on that
back and
point,
say,
yeah,
get a contract with some of the big millers.
I think,
they are hungry waiting for this produce, I can tell you for a fact.
Absolutely.
Just before you talk, Jim, let's talk about the other side of the animal.
yes,
Huge opportunity. I mean, we talked about milk, even though that person poured milk in South Africa. In this country, the price also tells you that the demand for milk is still there.
Yes.
It's how we do it and how we address the value chain.
Absolutely.
The same case surrounding chicken and eggs and all that. There's a huge opportunity for all of us, and it's an easier way of providing animal protein other than always going for meat, where you find meat is expensive. If you look at the price of meat, Pastor Gigi and Jim,
Yes.
I mean, you can actually tell that the price in December will actually be very high.
I think what we can do is probably even do value addition, because if you can get that product from somewhere else,
Yes.
as an aggregator, as you are saying, why not? Let us not be so fixated again that we must produce this thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
especially for the young people who are listening to us, some of them may need to position themselves in a place of intermediaries, the one you're calling cartels,
Yes.
but I would call them intermediaries
Yes.
or brokers
Yes.
who have information of where we can get maize today.
Absolutely.
Yes, if somebody can bring for you that
talk
maize,
to the Zambian farmers.
Yes.
You know, and become their official link here in Kenya.
yes, and bring that maize from Zambia.
No, and tender with the National Cereals Board
Yes.
and for 1 million bags.
Yes.
And you know, position yourself there.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you know the
I
Zambian guy.
agree.
Yes.
I agree that there's certain types of produce that you could actually import.
Yes.
Yes.
For example, let me give you a simple example. Soya. If you're telling me about soya, which is actually not produced here in Kenya, I can actually agree. We need to know some of the things that have not been done and they are being done now. And they are being imposed on us. I mean, when you hear about issues to do with the border, it means that other country, without mentioning them, has levied some tax
Yes.
on our produce. But when it is coming to a country, there is no levy. So when you start putting in the levy, it now becomes a level playing ground. So there are areas that you can actually go to.
yeah,
There are also areas that you actually say, well, let's see whether when you do the right things, will it still be expensive?
No, I agree.
Issues
I
to
agree.
do with energy, you know, the cost of input like fertilizer, you know, the pesticides and all that, compared to some landlocked country who only use our route to get these
Anthony, there's something
inputs to
I
their
really
country.
appreciate your contribution.
Yes.
I know that is your area of, that's your domain, yeah?
Good.
Really respect you a lot. And also trying to encourage people. I think what we are saying, there is a high demand.
So I think for me, and you know, not to trivialize some of these inter-border
Yes.
trade.
Yes.
Trade is very complicated.
Yes,
But trade is how countries develop.
that's true.
So with all the politics, I know if I became the president of this republic, I would fix trade. Because if you look at the major sources of economic development, trade is number one.
The number one.
It's the number one. And so even a border issue, that itself,
Need to be
you don't need
addressed.
to worry about the guys in Kirinyaga who are having problem with their cows.
Yes.
Because that's a domestic issue.
Yes.
And they can sort themselves out. But if you have a serious problem of, say, just the trade between us and Tanzania, for example, that's a problem that needs to be solved.
Yes.
And whether it is Tanzanians benefiting or Kenyans benefiting, and by the way, as things stand, we export more to Tanzania than we import from them.
Yeah.
In terms of industrials. By the way, we import a lot of our industrial produce.
The BP tilts to
our exports, the major consumers of our exports is our regional neighbors.
Yes.
They consume, our technical, production,
Yes.
manufacturing,
Yes.
mabati, and all those things.
Sure.
So there is a lot of goodwill already. There is a lot of trade happening.
Yes.
So trade is something we can fix.
Sure.
But today we are looking at opportunities.
Yes.
We are looking at, in other words, when we talk about opportunities, sometimes the conversation degenerates into something the government is not doing.
Yes.
All costs are so high,
The policy
and all
structure,
that.
yes.
Fertilizer is so high. Those are problems a single individual cannot solve.
Yes.
And whether those fertilizer factories will be set up or not, sometimes as a farmer, you maybe, why don't you think about something different? Don't get stuck there with this fertilizer
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Because you will not be able to solve that problem.
Yes.
What you're saying, contracting. So you would rather make sure you do your maths, do your numbers.
Yes.
If you can produce
Then say where you
a
want to
ton
fit
of
in.
maize in Trans Nzoia and have a small margin,
Yes.
with or without the cost of fertilizer going up or down,
Yes.
that's all you care, because it is your money, it is your investment.
Sure.
And you can worry about the government forever and never move. So I think for me, sometimes I really think that deferring everything to government is actually not an end game. So you will never be able to actually solve some of these government things.
I think I want to interrude and say this.
Yes.
We are looking at the opportunities available at large scale and at small scale.
Yes.
Of course, as you were saying, Pastor G, I totally agree with you. We cannot start directing our frustration to other quarters.
Yes.
It's not helpful at this stage. Yeah.
Yes.
I think what we are trying to encourage people is that look at those opportunities.
Yes.
To maybe at a lower scale.
Yes.
You know, I usually say that the way you say turn a lemon to be a lemonade. Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a joke that was going around some time back when the pandemic hit, that oranges were having a conversation with the lemons.
Yes.
And the lemons were always, nobody cared about them. And they were asking the oranges, how comes you have a better price than mine?
Yeah.
But when the pandemic happened, lemon were sought all over, isn't it?
Yes.
And that was an opportunity just like that.
Exactly.
So I'm encouraging people not to be fixated. It's true, I agree about the food security, about the maize and everything.
Yeah.
But there's some little opportunities arising.
And
People have started eating exotic fruits like kiwi and the thorn melon.
Yes.
If you can be the distributor around Nairobi,
Yes.
please do it.
Sure,
I know
sure,
my brother
sure,
one
sure.
time did an acre of the melon.
Yes.
One time, you
Yes.
know, when they hit
Yes.
our
The market.
region.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he did an acre of 10 melon.
Yes.
You know, of course, there was excitement. I don't think whether he made money. But
So-
today,
so-
if he repeated that experiment, he would make money.
Yes.
Because now the dawn melon.
And it's good that he tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So sometimes you can be ahead of the market.
Yes.
You know, you've tried something and
Yes.
you're way ahead of the
Yes.
curve.
Yes.
Yes.
But then later on, sometimes we forget
Yes.
some of the businesses we thought we tried and they failed.
Yes.
Now they are working. Yes.
Actually, the biggest challenge that happens, and I know we are dealing with opportunities,
Yes.
is you do it at large scale,
Yeah.
just because it has been mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the quails?
Yes.
Yes.
So people also went that direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've repeated here.
Yes.
Always have the proof of concept.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it working?
Yes.
Because you don't start big.
Yes.
You start small.
Yes.
Even all these opportunities that we're mentioning here, the idea is start small,
Yes.
then scale up, because you can actually read the market. Once you read the market, it will tell you how big the demand is. Slow down if need be,
Yes.
and most likely when you're slowing down, the prices are better.
Yes.
You know, the people, and I know I'm jumping, but there's something I really want to mention. When people started going to Dubai,
Yes.
they used to fly and put things and come back with things in a suitcase.
Yes.
Yes.
Today, people don't fly to Dubai with a suitcase.
Yes.
They import the container.
Very
Yes.
good.
So that's a very good example
Yes.
of how
Sure.
opportunities start slowly. So people, China, now people actually don't just fly to China
don't.
and
Yeah.
come back with a briefcase
Yes.
of items.
Yes.
People import the whole container.
Yes.
So that's
And
the
they
way it
don't
is.
go now.
Yeah.
Actually, all they do is communicate with the supplier, and goods actually get them right at their doorstep.
Absolutely.
So
Maybe-
that is
maybe
the
it's
kind of a
language
thing.
barrier.
At
Yes.
least the language barrier. And all the-
But just to close the agri opportunity,
Yes.
we've said, I think in another program,
Yes.
the first thing is you can engage as a farmer.
Yes.
So that is the first thing, as a producer
Yes.
of whatever it is required, whether crop or animal products.
Yes.
The second thing is you can engage as a trader.
Yes.
You can be the person who moves the goods from the farm
From tomatoes from Kirinyaga
to
Nairobi.
to the shop.
Yes.
All right.
You know, so you can be a trader.
Yes.
You can do the logistics, or you can actually be the one who is actually the middleman.
Yes.
And the third area is of service provision. For them to grow, for them to become, then there's a role that you're actually playing. You could be the agriculturalist, an agronomist, a vet, a paravet, the one who provides the input.
Yes.
And lastly, in that service, you have where it hits the ground, mwisho.
Yes.
You either now doing what you call the hospitality.
Yes.
So you're mixing the final product
Yes.
and serve it to the people.
Absolutely.
Those are the areas of opportunity.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
I think we can talk about this over
Yes.
and over.
Yes.
He's very passionate about agribusiness, which I have started connecting with him and starting relating, because food is just a must-have. You know.
Yeah.
Even despite what we have been going through, food is something that we need
a
to keep
must-have.
on going, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a big business and it's a big opportunity. And anyone who sees loopholes that they can, business is about identifying the loophole, the need,
The need.
and
The
filling
gap.
that need.
Absolutely.
And then you're in business, isn't it?
Yes.
Pastor Gigi, I know you have been a business consultant, you've been a coach, you've worked with many people, and I believe you have a lot of experience, especially pre and post pandemic. And there's a lot that has been happening in that sphere. I wanted to hear how has it been, especially for you, from coming from that place of a consultant, and the things that you have seen for yourself, and probably even your experience that you'd like to add to this conversation.
In the area, of course, of consultancy, for
Yes,
example,
yes.
that was affected in a negative sense a lot, because you know, when the country was shut down and people stopped traveling,
Yes.
it became impossible to do whatever we were used to. It's like preachers, even preachers were affected.
Yes.
Yes, the traveling
ministers.
were affected.
Yes.
So we fall in the same category.
Yes, they were not classified as essential.
And you know, when training programs in big
Yes.
hotels, you know, got cancelled
Yes.
and all that, so that affected most of those things.
Yes.
But now, so it's taken a bit of time
Yes.
to re-engineer,
Yes.
you know, restart some of these consultancy, do them online,
Yes.
contact customers online, train online.
Mm.
So it has taken a bit of time for the transformation
Yes.
of the delivery
Yes.
of this kind of services. And so, for example, my experience is I've had some of training program cancelled.
Yes.
Even recently, there was a training we were to do somewhere, a customer service training,
Yes.
and we had to call it off because there was a COVID case.
Yes.
And so clearly there have been challenges.
Yes.
But I believe the market is still there.
Yes.
The opportunity is still there. You know, people still need to be trained.
Yes.
The skills need to be transferred.
Yes.
And I think it is so vented up that I think when things open up, probably we might not even be able to cope with
The demand.
With the demand.
Yes.
Because there are so many people who want the new ideas,
Yes.
and who also have many questions.
Yes.
And their businesses have suffered, so they really need a lot of support.
Yes.
So there are opportunities in that area.
Yes.
So anyone who is able to train, do business planning, financial planning,
Yes.
personal development programs.
Yes.
So the demand is still there.
Yes.
It's latent, it's there. Some people are really suffering quietly.
Yes.
You know, debt management,
Yes.
personal financial management,
Yes.
all those challenges are still very much there.
Yes.
And there are people who really are desperate,
Yes.
find ideas on how to recover.
Yes.
So there is opportunity.
Yes.
But we have had to go through a very, very long period of recovery
And readjustment.
and readjustment. Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
But there's a lot of hope, Pastor Gigi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we must remain very optimistic
Very hopeful.
because the future belongs to us.
Yes.
Anthony, you wanted to say something when Pastor Gigi was saying.
Yeah, mine will be very simple. You know, when he's talking about loss,
Yes.
what happens is whatever you lose,
Yes.
it also sink in the mind.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is why he says people are out there and they're feeling beaten, you know,
Yes.
by the circumstances that were actually brought by COVID.
Yes.
And I've been thinking that one area would be to do something like individual and family counseling.
Yes.
That is actually something very important.
Yes.
This you may not be able to do to the people who have actually lost
Yes.
by charging them, but it could be a way of trying to get in there and possibly working with bodies that can actually support that. It will require one to be I would say very creative in terms of the approach. One, because you do not want them to suffer more loss.
Yes.
You want them to come back. Much as they can meet certain cost, people will require a bit of counseling.
Yes.
And that counseling is because of the loss, but also counseling so that they are able to move forward. Because of whatever they've actually been through. Some have lost their loved ones,
Yes.
but beyond that they have actually lost their finances. You can actually see families that have been hit by more than once. In some cases you'll actually be counseling children only,
Yes.
because the parents are no longer there.
Yeah.
In some cases you may find you're counseling a father with daughters only, and there's no other person to be with them. Or you're counseling actually a mother and the sons, because maybe the father actually left. So it's an area that will need to be spoken to,
Yeah.
both psychologically and spiritually. You know, psychologically and spiritually,
Yes.
so that you bring these people to a place
Yes.
of accepting the circumstances
Yes.
and crafting a way forward, so
That's
that they're
true.
able actually to fend themselves tomorrow.
I totally agree with you, Anthony.
Yeah.
There's a great need for us to address also the psychological part of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
by the grace of God, to be able to encourage people and to give them hope that it is doable, that they can rise again, that they can figure out again. Yeah. And I think one of the things I heard from one of the industrialists around here is something he said that was very profound the other day. Okay, when the pandemic was very hard on us, he said, if you find anything that you can do to help to promote somebody, do it for them.
Yes.
It may be a service, it may be a good, it may not be the high quality you are looking for,
Yeah.
it may not be premium service, but that when you buy to the idea or to that product, you have made them face another day, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think it's about making change despite the challenges we have.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
We are so much limited of time, Anthony.
Oh, my.
And I know you want to say something. Pastor Gigi is gleaning and wants to dig in something else. I wanted to give you an opportunity to give a parting shot. We start from you, Anthony.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much to our viewers. It's always a pleasure having you on board. And I want to say that there will always be time for opportunity. But the thing that we need to do is pay attention and look keenly. Be a good scanner and you'll be able to get something.
Wow. Pastor Gigi, what's your parting shot?
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen in particular, because this is Man Up, we want to just affirm and confirm that there is hope and there are opportunities out there. Don't just listen to the rhetoric in the market and all the criticism. Just pay attention to the opportunities and take advantage of them. And whatever idea you have, don't hesitate to test that idea. There will always be something that you can make. You can turn your lemons into lemonade.
Wow. Great. Thank you so much, guest. It's been an awesome time. I think I'm so blessed to have you around here and to hear that wisdom and to hear that counsel and that encouragement. It's very important. Our viewers, it's been Man Unveiled. We are so humbled that you could take your time to listen to us. May you never lack. May you always find help when you need help. Stretch your hand when you need help. Somebody else can help you. I think my parting shot is that don't keep quiet. Reach out. Help could be just near you. God bless you. It was Man Unveiled. I was your host, James Ireri. God bless you. Bye.